Good morning, everybody, and we are live. I'm fired up. I'm excited. I'm glad to be here. I hope you're glad to be here. Fill your cups. Let's do this. Boy, Republicans are in a full freakout mode right now. I mean, they are just dying. See, we're getting the numbers back from early voting, and this is from the first few days of early voting, and this has Republicans absolutely just dying inside. Yeah. Yeah. You understood the assignment. You're doing the job. I'm loath to bring stuff like this up because I am terrified of complacency. I am terrified of, I don't want anybody comfortable. I don't want anybody thinking, oh, we got this. I don't have to show up. No, you've got to show up. We don't have anything won yet. Nothing won yet. We have still got to do the work. But yeah, these are the numbers that are coming out from the first few days of early voting. Arizona, women lead men 52-46. Nevada, they lead 50-48. Pennsylvania, they lead 56-44. Georgia, 56-44. North Carolina, 55-45. Michigan, 55-45. And Wisconsin, 55-44. Those numbers have continued trending that way. And why does that have Republicans in a full freakout mode? Because Kamala Harris and generic polling across the country leads among women, depending on which poll you look at, from anywhere from 11 to 13 points. Yeah. I knew a lot of people were stressing. It's going to the last stretch. We're going into the last little bit of it. This is Friday, folks. We made it through another week. We made it to the weekend. And elections Tuesday, early voting ends today in Texas. A lot of folks are just chewing the nails right now. I just wanted to give you a little something. You understood the assignment. You're getting it done. You're getting it done. But it's not over, and the Republicans are quitting. They are freaking out, especially about the campaign ads that have been coming up. We've shown them before. I'm not going to play them again, that talk about, hey, you can vote however the hell you want, ladies. You don't have to let your man see how you vote. And it's okay to tell them, oh, yeah, I voted for Trump. It's okay. And they are in full freakout mode about that. They have trotted out the old Paragon of Virtue, to discuss just how disgusting it is that we Democrats would tell our wives, or our husbands for that matter, that it is okay to lie to your spouse and tell them that you voted for Trump when you know damn well you cannot vote for Trump. They are just dying about this whole campaign. Charlie Kirk ran into some, just humiliated himself about this. And this is Fox.
Have Hollywood elitist jackass, really? I'm gonna look for what manliness looks like to George Clooney, the Hollywood jackass, spoiled elitist. No, thank you. He's no John Wayne.
Look, let me go out on a limb for a second as a historian. These people are dishonest. They're relentlessly, routinely dishonest at every level. And so for them to tell people.
Okay, wait a minute. This is bothering me already. Not him calling us dishonest. I don't give a crap what Newt Gingrich says. John Wayne was no John Wayne. His name is Marion. He was not. Yeah, it was a complete fictional created character. He was a cosmopolitan guy that lived in California who didn't like horses. So yeah, just I don't know why that was bothering me, but it was bothering me.
People to lie is just one further example of the depth of their corruption. I mean, how do you run a country where you're walking around saying wives should lie to their husbands, husbands should lie to their wives? I mean, what kind of a totally amoral, corrupt, sick system have the Democrats developed? If you think about it at that level, it is astonishing the decay. This is what, frankly, why Robert F. Kennedy Jr. switched parties, but didn't switch parties, but was campaigning Sunday with Donald Trump, because the party of John F. Kennedy, the party of Robert Kennedy, it's gone.
Yeah, I'm gonna let that soak in for a second. Oh my God. Yeah, folks, if you're anywhere near my age, you understand what just happened here. I just yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Newt Gingrich just lectured us on morality. Oh my God. Yeah, that's how it's going. They really are in full freakout mode about this, folks. They really are, because like I said, women voting terrifies them. And it's not just Newt Gingrich. I'm not going to even show some of the gross, when you get out like to Nick Fuentes and the fringe groups like that, they are saying the most misogynist, horrible crap. They're actually telling men to grab the ballots out of the mailbox and stand over your wife while she fills it out, so that she fills it out correctly. Yeah, they're really saying that. Veronica Telthorster. Yeah, I think we learned our lesson with Hillary. Keep the foot on the gas. Exactly. They're in full freak out mode about the numbers that are coming out. I am in full freak out mode because of the numbers that are coming out, because of exactly that. I am terrified of complacency. We have nothing won yet. Nothing. And if we don't keep our foot on the gas, if we don't keep after it, we will win nothing. Nothing. And I have to tell you, we've got a political cartoon here that pretty much well sums up what's going on here. This is Mike Lukovich showing his Twitter page. I mean, I always like to share really good follows that you can find. He is as it says in his bio here, he's a Pulitzer Prize-winning cartoonist for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. And he just absolutely nailed it with this cartoon. This is going to be the story of this election if we keep our foot on the gas, if we keep after it. What Republicans are at their core is not what the American people want. They are not where we are at. This just does an amazing job of drawing up the feelings that are going on in and around this election. And I mean, the excitement just couldn't be bigger. This is a video from just Kamala Harris held a rally in Madison, Wisconsin on Wednesday. Yeah, filled another stadium. This is from Madison, Wisconsin, of all places. Look at this crowd. Look at this crowd. Man, the excitement is off the hook. It is off the hook. And I have another video clip for you I want to play for you. Please forgive me. It is a little bit long. I don't normally like to play clips this long, but this is Jennifer Lopez and her introduction in the Las Vegas rally. She's out campaigning with Kamala Harris. Her words just really, they sum up what I'm trying to say here perfectly. Perfectly.
Buenas noches, Las Vegas. Now, you guys know I'm no stranger to this town. No, I've been on stage here many, many times. Too many times to count. But this is the most important stage I've ever been on. And let me tell you, it has never felt the way it does tonight. It has nothing to do with me and everything to do with you. The energy in here is just electric. Can you guys feel it? Can you feel it? It's amazing. The election is just 5 days away, and there's so much at stake. The choices facing America now are monumental. And you guys have made this place a city where dreams come true, where people from all walks of life have planted a flag in hopes of creating a better future for themselves and their families. And you are the ones who are going to send the message that Nevada is Harris country. Kamala Harris is running for the people who dream, for the parents working overtime, the kids studying by streetlight, the teenagers practicing in the basement. She's the only candidate that wants to raise the minimum wage and make college more affordable, keep the Department of Education, and even put a teacher in the vice president's job. That's right. On the other hand, her opponent wants to kill the Affordable Care Act and eliminate the Department of Education. Right now, we are on the brink of an election that demands a choice between backwards and forwards, a choice between the past and the future, a choice between divided and united. And if you are anything like me and you value the idea that in this country, any child from any background can not only work their ass off to bring their dreams to life and be able to do so with dignity and respect for their neighbors, then it isn't much of a choice at all. Whether you're from Castle Hill in the Bronx, yes, baby, or Sunrise Manor in East Las Vegas. We all want a world where our kids feel safe and free and valued by their president, because whoever leads this country matters. That's how we make the greatest America. Because I remember growing up thinking my president cared about me, cared about my parents, cared about my neighbors and my community. Not just some Americans, but all Americans. I believe that our kids and this wonderfully progressive, innovative, and inclusive young generation deserve that too. And it is in our hands. It's our responsibility to provide that for them. You know, when I started in TV and film, I could get roles playing the maid or the loudmouth Latina. But I knew I had more to offer. And I think there are a lot of people in this country who feel the same way, who know that they are capable of more. And we all just want a chance to prove it. And elections are about choosing leaders who support that, not one who stands in the way.
Amen.
Kamala Harris gets it. raised by a hardworking mother in Oakland, California, working long hours, strict budget, made rent every month until they could buy a home, surrounded by a community of firefighters and teachers, nurses, construction workers, small business owners. I don't know, that sounds a lot like my upbringing, and probably many of yours. Kamala Harris gets it.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. That full clip is about 13 minutes long. Well worth a watch. Amazing introduction. J-Lo just knocked it out of the park. I apologize for playing a clip that long, but the entire thing was just amazing. I mean, it really was. I mean, I know I use that word a lot, but it was just amazing. She just did an incredible job. Juxtapose that against this. Juxtapose that versus this. Yeah, this was the outfit of choice for MAGA for Halloween. Like Taylor Swift said, her famous quote, the trash will take itself out. Talk about a self-own. I don't want to dredge up the whole Madison Square Garden thing again. I'm not going to play the clip. I'm not going to do all that, but it's worth saying this. You had MAGA, and you've heard it all before. The FJB stuff, stickers you see on the trucks. You've heard the crap they say. You've heard it out of their own mouths. And then you saw that rally where they were, you've got a speaker up there. They've loaded his speech in the teleprompter. This isn't something that snuck by him, because they actually said part of it goes too far. And they took part of it out. So yeah, they knew this was coming. This was Trump and his team. And he, insulted Latino people, just the Latino population in general, anyways, you talked about black people for Halloween carving watermelons instead of pumpkin, the same old racist crap, just crap. And then they called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. You saw that, all of it. President Biden comes out when asked about it, says, no. If you're part of that crowd, and you heard it when I played the clip, you can go back to the last show and watch it. I played the clip. They were cheering for this stuff. You could hear the applause. You could hear the cheers. Said, if that's you, you're garbage. You're garbage. Amen. Amen. And that, my friends, is what their response is. They think that they're victims. They think that they actually think that this is who they are. They called us garbage. Oh my God. Oh, look at this. Look at this. This is Don Jr.
What do you think, Kai? What do you think?
They really think they're victims here. I mean, that's who they are. They say the most disgusting, awful stuff. And I could go through social media and I could pull up all of the nastiness and stuff that have come out of that man's mouth that he's put on social media. But somebody says, you know what? No, you're garbage for saying that stuff. And they clutch the pearls. And, oh my God, I'm going to faint on the couch now. They have no idea what a self-own this is, how appropriate those costumes are. In fact, I've got a little bit of a shocking video here. It is MAGA. It is a a Trump supporter attacking a kid. Attacking a kid. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh yeah. Yeah. You trash. You trash. You are. If you are supporting Donald Trump, there is, I've said it before, I will say it again. There is no bubble thick enough to excuse this. There isn't. 26, I've said it before. I know people in 2016 that voted for Donald Trump. They regret the hell out of their vote. But they voted for Donald Trump because they were like, I don't want another dynasty. I don't like Hillary Clinton. I think that's stupid. I think that's idiotic. But yeah, I understand. 2016, you didn't know the guy. All you knew was the fake made up crap from television. 2020, we knew. By 2020, we knew. And we threw that trash in the dumpster. We did. Everybody knew. If you're supporting Donald Trump today, after the testimony at the Eugene Carroll trial, after the convictions, after seeing the evidence, after seeing everything, his fealty to Putin, just all of it. I mean, just you can go on and on and on. His failures during COVID, if you're supporting Donald Trump today, you are garbage. You are trash. You are. There is no excuse. There is no excuse. Thank you. January 6th. Janet, thank you. Perfect segue. I love that you people are always, I say it every damn show, and I mean it every damn show. Fortunately, there are people that I vehemently disagree with, people that that make my blood boil, that I believe are wrong on damn near every single issue, that are seeing the light. The Trump spell has been broken. It has. This bleeding is happening all over the country. When you have Jonah Goldberg, and I know most of you folks won't know who Jonah Goldberg is, unless you do what I do and you have to stick your face into this right-wing crap all the time. But when you have Jonah Goldberg come out and write an entire article as to why he cannot vote for Donald Trump. And yeah, the rest of the article, he goes on to trash Kamala Harris. He goes on to explain why he's no Democrat and he's still the same awful person he always was. And by awful person, I mean he was deep in the Republican weeds. Oh, I know, Steve. I do too. This guy is every lousy notion to come out of the Republican Party. This guy's ample. He's a syndicated columnist. They run his pieces in the New York Times. They run his pieces in the LA Times. Yeah. This is Jonah Goldberg. He's a chair at the American Enterprise Institute. This is no Democrat, people. This is a Republican saying, I can't vote for Donald Trump. I can't. And unfortunately, it's not for the right reasons other than January 6th. That's the big one for him. Thanks for the support, Teresa. I really appreciate you. Thank you for keeping us, our international audience here, keeping us on the air. I appreciate you. Thank you. For him, it was January 6th. For me, it's not. For me, it's not January 6th. For me, more than anything, I mean, there's a lot. There is a lot. But for me, it's this. It's women like Gisele Barnica. This is Gisele Barnica. She's no longer with us. See, there are women all over the country living in these states, these Republican-run states where the Republicans think that they, as politicians and as the pastors, that they bend the knee to because those pastors get people to the polls. Yeah, we're seeing more and more stories of this come out. A lot of it's hidden in litigation, where people cannot talk about it right now, but that's over, folks. It's been long enough that these stories are coming out. Let me tell you about Gisele Barnica. She was 17 weeks pregnant. She has a child. She was 17 weeks pregnant, went to the hospital in Houston in a full miscarriage. Doctors, yeah, you're having a miscarriage. This pregnancy's over. There's nothing we can do to stop it. You're too far. We cannot stop this. But because it's Texas, we can't do a DNC, which is, ask the women. Ask the women. If you don't know what a DNC is, ask the women in the chat. This is a procedure that is commonplace. This is a procedure that doctors are really freaking good at. They could have ended her pregnancy safely, and she could have still had another child. She could have tried again. But they said, no, this is Texas. No, I'm sorry. That fetus has a heartbeat, can't touch you. And then the question came up, well, why not just induce labor? Well, I can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. You know why they couldn't do it? Because at 17 weeks, that fetus dies outside the womb. %, 17 weeks, that fetus dies. They're like, we can't do that. We'll go to jail. They'll call it an abortion, and we'll go to jail. You have to go home until that fetus is dead already. Yeah, I know it's hooked up to your body. Your body has that fetus on life support. The pregnancy is not going to continue. That fetus is going to die, but we can't do it. Go home. Less than 48 hours later, she was dead. She was dead. For no damn good reason. For no damn good reason. There was no baby to save. It was over. But this is what you get when Republicans run your health care. They can go to hell. They are garbage. They are garbage. They are garbage. And there's a new ad out, and I want to warn you in advance. It simulates a sex act. This ad is hard-hitting. So I want to warn you in advance. It is not. It is acting. It is not an actual sex act. I am not portraying a sex act here, but it does a great job of simulating one. And this ad hits hard because it's the truth. It is the truth.
Oh, God. The condom broke.
Oh, I might be in the bathroom.
Great. I'm gonna go get that now.
Sorry, you can't use that.
Who are you?
I'm your Republican congressman. Now that we're in charge, we ban Plan B.
No, you can't. You can't do this. I can't have a kid right now.
I won the last election, so it's my decision. Now let's get back in there so we can give her the news, Daddy.
It's a great ad. It is. It's a great ad. It's a great ad because it's true. It's true. I mean, I don't. This is what we're talking about. And I got to tell you, folks, it's not just women. It isn't just women. Men aren't doing this anymore. I want to share this with you. This clip, this video clip is, I believe this is all of us right now.
Are you married?
What?
Are you married?
Oh, yeah.
So you be okay if I call your wife a bitch?
Whatever.
Forgive the wind noise.
Yeah, don't hurt me.
Okay, cool. Well, if Kamala Harris will beat your wife a bitch, just keep it across the board.
That's fine. That's fine. I ain't got no problem with that.
That's why you want Trump in, because of the racism and the
ain't no
disrespect.
racism. More black
We
people
sitting,
vote for
we
Trump
sitting,
than anybody.
we sitting here having a conversation about politics. You calling the woman a bitch.
Fact. He got hired, man.
Where's your mom? How long she been dead?
Still left.
She's still living? She a bitch. So every woman that you connect to is a bitch. Since she a bitch.
Just like you.
Just like I ain't met your people, you ain't never met Kamala Harris.
I wouldn't want to, man.
Okay, I wouldn't want to meet your mom. I wouldn't want to meet your mom. Don't come around here being called no black woman, no bitch. You told me that could be my aunt. So fuck you.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much well all of us right now. I think that is pretty much well all of us right now. I think everybody, I don't know anybody out there that has any room for this crap anymore at all. I got a couple clips here from Lucas Kuntz in his debate. I've got a couple. Yeah, you know what? Before we do that, I want to play another ad for you. One more ad for you. This is from the Kamala Harris campaign. I'm going to have to play it for you twice because the headlines that come up in it go pretty quickly. I'm going to play it through, and then I'm going to play it through, and I'm going to pause for each headline. This is just where people are right now. I mean, this isn't a game. This isn't 2016. We know who this guy is. We know what he is. We know what he's going to do. Nobody has time or energy for this crap anymore.
They said, sir, I just think it's inappropriate for you to say. I said, well, I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not. I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not. 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 I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not.
All right. I love this freaking ad. Let's play it again. I'm going to pause for the headlines. I'm going to read you the headline.
I said, sir, I just think it's inappropriate for you to say. I said, well, I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not. I'm going to do.
CBS News, Trump says states might monitor pregnancies to track abortions.
Do it whether the women like it or not. Whether the
Mother Jones Magazine, Trump says states could prosecute women for abortions under his watch.
women like it or not. Whether the women like
The 19th, RNC approves platform that would give rights to fetuses endangering abortion and IVF.
it or not. Whether the women like it or
The Guardian, Republicans push wave of bills that would bring homicide charges for abortion.
not. Whether the women like it or not.
CNN, nearly 65,000 pregnancies from rape have occurred in states with abortion bans, study estimates.
I'm going to do it whether the women like
MSNBC, Mississippi abortion bans force 13-year-old rape survivor to give birth.
it or not. They said, sir, I just think it's inappropriate.
And as a side note to that, I want you to go back and I want you to think about that one headline. Yes, it is a tragedy that there have been 65,000 women so far that have been unable to get health care who have been raped. Wrap your head around 65,000 women have been raped since they've done this. What the fuck is wrong with us as a country? And I bet I know who the rapists are voting for. So yeah, that's the energy I'm feeling right now. I don't what energy are you feeling? I am feeling that people are excited, people are happy. I'm listening to the messages from Kamala Harris. I'm listening to what she's talking about versus what Trump is talking about. And Trump and MAGA, it's all grievance. It's all, I'm a victim. Oh, he called me garbage after I said that other people were garbage. Fuck you. Yeah, we ain't monetizing this one. This is the energy I'm feeling from us. This young man is on a meteoric rise. He is on social media. He's making the transition over to standard media. This kid right here is the energy I'm feeling from our side.
Would you look your grandma in the face and say, I don't give a fuck about anything you've been through? Or better yet, would you look your kid in the face and say, I don't give a fuck about anything that you will go through? That's essentially what you're doing when you don't vote. I hope y'all realize this shit does matter. If it didn't matter, there wouldn't be people at the polls trying to intimidate people's grandparents. Here today in Florida, an 18-year-old was arrested for wielding a machete at people at the poll trying to place their votes. This shit matters. If it didn't matter, the state of Virginia wouldn't be actively right now today, X amount of days away from the election, actively trying to purge their voter rolls. Voting is just being grown. It's part of your responsibilities. Everybody want to be grown until it's time to do grown people shit. It's more to being grown than just playing house. You have to go do your civic duties. This shit matters. This can have effects on generations to come. Today, right now, there are people trying to blow up ballot drop boxes. Why? Because this shit matters. Everything matters. Y'all realize that it's only been about 59 years or so since Black people have had the federal right to vote, basically. The Voting Act didn't come out until 1965. So think about that.
It's Kelton Allen, folks. Tell me that kid didn't just nail it. That's the energy I'm feeling. I mean, people just don't have time for the silliness. They don't. They're just done with it. And it's because of stuff like this. You know, I know I'm throwing a lot of clips up there, but I believe in Operation Let the Dumbass Talk. Let them talk. I'm going to play you first. This is Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, talking about how aggrieved he is. You know, and how we're just misportraying him. And, oh, God, no, he doesn't want to get rid of Obamacare. Oh, no, of course not. He wants to do good things for health. You know, that healthcare plan that they haven't come up with for a decade, 2 decades. It's been 2 decades. You know, they talked about when Obamacare came out, the Affordable Care came out. Well, our plan is, where's your plan, man? You've had decades. Anyways, this is Mike Johnson running his mouth, and I'm sorry, it makes me mad just to hear this crap.
And they're twisting our words. So yes, I was at one of these events in Pennsylvania a few days ago, and a question came up about Obamacare, and I answered it very specifically. I said, the ACA, unfortunately, is deeply ingrained in our healthcare system now. Do we need further improvements? Absolutely. We need to expand quality of care, access to care, and obviously lower the cost of healthcare. And I started talking about that. Well, they took a clip out of context and said that I said we were promising to repeal Obamacare. That's just not what.
Damn, and I just deleted the clip. In the clip, this is what he says on national news. The clip is him talking to his supporters, and the supporters like, "You're going to get rid of Obamacare, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, no Obamacare." It's not debatable. It's not debatable. You know what? I'm going to go find that clip for you. 1 second. Y'all be patient with me, please. I am sorry for the delay. I think it's worth seeing. I think it is worth seeing. All right. It's going to take me just a second. I found it immediately. All right.
There's a lot of talk. I mean, healthcare reform is going to be a big part of the agenda. When I say we're going to have a very aggressive first 100 days agenda, we got a lot of things still on the table. But healthcare, that's part. It's the secret. It's the secret. Healthcare for us is a really important ideas on the table, and we have a docs caucus, the physicians who serve in the House, and they've got a menu of options about this thick, and I think this is part.
Yeah, you know, you got an ophthalmologist there that really just knows everything. Shut up, man.
Of it, because if you take government bureaucrats out of the healthcare equation and you have doctor-patient relationship, it's better for everybody, more efficient, more effective. That's the free market. Trump's going to be for the free market. You heard a little.
Government's bad. Them health insurance companies, they know, man. It's government's bad.
Sample of that last night. We want to take a blowtorch to the regulatory state. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, these agencies have been weaponized against the people, and it's crushing the free market. It's like a boot on the neck of job creators and entrepreneurs and risk takers. And so healthcare is one of the sectors, but
he just told you that them healthcare is expensive. It's a boot on the neck of them people that write me checks.
we need this across the board, and Trump's going to go big. I mean, he's only going to have one more term, right? Can't run for re-election, and so he's going to be thinking about legacy, and we're going to fix all these things. And,
no Obamacare.
No Obamacare.
No Obamacare. No Obamacare. That's who they are, man. When they're talking to their people, they say all the crap that I tell you they say. This is what they're going to do. When they talk to amongst themselves, when they're sitting down with their big billionaire frat boy donors, they're like, we're going to get rid of that Social Security, man. You ain't got to pay them taxes no more. We're going to get rid of that Medicare. You ain't got to pay them taxes no more. But then they go and they sit down on Fox News, which is the propaganda arm of the Republican Party, and they say, oh, God, no, we're going to strengthen. Yes, strengthen Medicare by kicking people off of it. And we're going to strengthen Social Security by making sure that you can't actually get it before you die. It's going to be really strong because nobody's going to use it. Fuck these people. I am telling you, these... You do not have to take my word for it. I will play you the clips of them saying it themselves out of their mouths. You know, I don't know how many times we have got to say it. And these are their people. These are their people. Oh my God. You know, I've heard from people that are like, man, I'm looking forward to when you start actually doing your religious broadcast, which I am going to do after the election. This is going to be my next project. I'm going to focus on, I've already established the Church of Science and Humanity, and Saturdays I will be doing religious content. This is why. This is why.
Do you think the presence of evil is kickstarting people to wonder about the good?
That's what happened to me.
That's what happened to you?
Oh yeah, I had a direct experience with it.
In the milieu of journalism, or just
nope, in my bed at night, and I got attacked while I was asleep with my wife and 4 dogs in the bed and mauled, physically mauled.
In a spiritual attack by a demon?
Yeah, by a demon.
I ain't gonna play you that whole clip. I can't listen to that man talk. Mauled by a demon. Yeah. I really don't know what to add to that other than, you know, you're just sitting there watching the manipulation of people. Hey, yeah, I'm the spokesperson for the party that wants to take everything from you and make sure that my billionaire folks that sponsor me and my Russian sugar daddy that sponsors me gets everything they want. But you know what? I believe in the demons and the angels, and they abuse their faith. They abuse their church to manipulate people politically, and that is why if they can talk about stuff that's crap, I can talk about stuff that's science, because my faith is based in science. It's freaking insane. I got attacked by a demon when I was sleeping. I cannot be the only one that hears this and just has that realization. Oh my God, there is a huge segment of this country that believes he is actually talking about something that really happened. I loved what Hal Sparks says. Oh yeah, you got attacked by a demon. Didn't, you know, those scratches didn't totally come from a truck stop bathroom. But yeah, I've got in a couple clips here that are just, this is good. This is Lucas Kuntz here in Missouri. This is why I'm saying there's more in play than I think that most people, not I think that most people think is in play. There's more in play than most people think is in play. Those numbers I showed you with women coming up, because like I said, Kamala Harris is dominating with women. I don't believe even you've got the whole establishment of the Republican Party that are like, I am not voting for Trump. I am not. So I don't think that the Republican votes that are coming out are as solid as they believe. And we've fielded good candidates. We have fielded good candidates. This is Lucas Kuntz. I've got 2 clips for you. Running for Senate in Missouri against Josh Hawley.
This guy over here clutching his pearls so hard over this, considering the fact that he's completely cool with inciting a riot that led to the injuries of 174 police officers, God knows how many other civilians, and even led to several deaths. You know, the big difference between Josh Hawley and I is when I was at this event and I saw Ryan get hurt, I immediately went over to him. I stopped what I was doing. I took out the medical kit. I put a bandage on him. He was able to keep reporting. Josh Hawley, when literally hundreds of people were being hurt at his place of work, did the exact opposite thing, right? As a Marine, we go towards danger. We help people out when they're hurt. Josh Hawley, as the selfish swamp creature that he is and has always been, he ran away as quick as he could back to his $2 million Virginia estate and hid his head and hasn't said a single thing first. The man is literally all about himself. The people in this election have a real choice. A U.S. Marine who spent his entire life trying to pay back the people in my old neighborhood who took care of me, or a selfish guy over here who makes $500,000 in book sales, tripling his Senate salary, and brings nothing home to Missouri because he only cares about himself.
Mr. Coons, thank you.
That's how you do it. That is how you do it. You don't talk about, well, we just have differences of opinions. We just, no, that is how you do it. Here's another one, another clip from Lucas Kuntz.
Look, I think what we've seen in our politics is an absolute degradation. And I think the reason we have that is we don't have people who are dedicated to service anymore. We have swamp creatures all throughout DC. Josh Hawley is a swamp creature. You know, when I was working as a Subway sandwich artist down in Jeff City, Missouri, he was at the Heritage Foundation planting the seeds for Project 2025. When I graduated from school and went to my first job, I joined the United States Marine Corps. Josh Hawley's first job was at Washington, D.C.'s biggest corporate lobbying law firm. When you have a background like that, it's no wonder that you just buy into all the hate and vitriol and you do nothing but attack the other side and don't accomplish anything. Again, that's why I bring up Roy Blunt all the time, because Roy Blunt was willing to work with people from both sides of the aisle to serve Missouri, to protect Missouri, and to bring money back home. Josh Hawley refuses to do that. He only serves himself. And when you have politicians who only serve themselves and don't understand service, like I learned in the United States Marine Corps, you end up in situations where it's all about them. I mean, it's not just the hate and vitriol that he spews, but the man also spends all of his time writing self-help books, tripling his Senate salary. He has tripled his Senate salary writing self-help books about manhood while the rest of us struggle here not bringing any money home. He talks about preventing crime. Well, let me tell you something. Of that money that Roy Blunt brought home, a huge chunk of that change went to the St. Louis Police Department and other law enforcement agencies. Josh Hawley is not bringing that money home for them. He's not bringing it home for hospitals. He's not bringing it home for anything because he's more interested in dividing the country and serving himself.
Exactly. And that's why I love Colin Allred. Colin Allred has this figured out. Colin Allred, if you're looking for a bomb thrower that's going to be exciting to watch and is going to be out there in front of the cameras and, getting those taglines, that's not who you're voting for, people. No, he's trying to get elected to do the job. You remember The Job? It's not sexy. It's like watching sausage being made. It's not fun. Politics is boring. And it should be. But the Republicans are infected with this whole group of people that think politics is about owning the liberals. That's my job. Go out there and own them liberals, and we're going to have stupid bills and stupid stunts and run out to the steps and get in front of that camera and say, "What? This is what I done to own them liberals." Woo! No, we fielded good candidates. You got Lucas Kuntz talking about, look, the whole point of the federal government is to manage money to fund projects that you cannot do for yourself. That is what government is. It's not magic. I've said it 1,000 times. That's all government is. That's why the government is bad. Bullshit. Government is just there to do the things that you cannot do for yourself. And Lucas Kuntz is saying, look, I would like that job. Josh Hawley's like, let me show you my book about what real men are, because it ain't them liberals. Man, go to hell, dude. This isn't a game. It's not a joke. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Tammy Diaz. Exactly. You've heard it all before out of Ted Cruz. It's all these Republicans are. It's one stunt after another, after another. Oh, Joe Biden called me garbage after I said, fuck you, Joe Biden. Oh. Meanwhile, there's a war that just escalated in Ukraine. There are 8,000 North Korean troops that just entered into the Kursk region of Ukraine, of actually in Russia, the part of Russia that is owned by Ukraine now. This is a serious escalation, folks. It needs serious people. This is another country entering that war. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think, Moldova's going to do? What do you think Poland's going to do? Lithuania. Thank you, Mary Lou. I appreciate you. She says, thank you, Texas Paul. You are awesome. I love you for your no bullshit input. Already voted for Kamala and blew down the line. All right. All right. So, yeah, it's closing argument time. It really is. Sunday will be the last show before the election. And I'm asking you to listen to the closing arguments. You've got Republicans saying, oh, me, oh, my God. They said something back to me that I've been saying to them for 8 months. Can you believe they said what I said? Versus Democrats that are saying, look, the world's a big, complex place, and we need people that know what the hell they're doing the job. We need to end this war in the Middle East so that it doesn't spiral out of control. It's already dangerously close to out of control. And you have bad people like Iran. Iran is fomenting attacks via our own social media. That's why you see these people showing up at every Democratic event talking about Gaza, never at Republican events, because it's sponsored by Iran. Russia's been busted fomenting fake stories about, elections being stolen and crap like that. Fake stories about Tim Walz that, fortunately didn't get any traction this cycle. Completely fabricated stories. We're being literally attacked by our enemies. And the Republicans are very comfortable cozying up with them. And so, yeah, I've got no fucks left to give. None. Teresa Washington, I'm done with MAGA. There's no excuse now. Either you are hate or you are hope. Well said, ma'am. Well said. Perfectly said. Dana L. voted a blue ballot from the start to finish. Amen. Amen. I want to talk to you about that because the early voting numbers have been historic. A huge number of people are going to vote on November 5th. And I just want to remind people, Democrats have a horrible habit of walking in and voting for the top of the ticket and walking out. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. I'm going to reiterate it, just a couple points to close with. This is hugely important. You must take the 2 minutes. It takes 2 minutes to run down that ballot, and you vote Democrats all the way down. And if you see an uncontested race with a Republican in it, you skip it. You do not give that Republican your vote. But you go all the way down to the lowliest race because the culture between the two parties could not be more different. Just couldn't. One party believes that the government exists for a reason to do the things that you cannot do for yourself. The other party believes that they need to eliminate that government as much as humanly possible to not do those things that you need done because they don't want the people that write them checks to pay taxes. It's really that simple. You've got to vote all the way freaking down. And here's my pitch to, there's blue dots in red states. And you've all heard this. You've all heard this before. Man, in my area, it's all, Republicans going to win. My vote don't matter. No, your vote matters hugely. Hugely. Just a couple off the top of my head reasons. One, you're making Republicans spend time and resources fighting for territory when you don't allow them to just blow it out because you didn't show up to vote. You make them defend their seats, and those resources get taken from other areas and allows us to fight effectively. This is not just an isolated you thing when you vote. It is about the nation. It is about the entire nation. So when you vote in your area, you also deny Republicans those huge margins. I've told you before, my district's an 85-15 district in 2020, went for Trump. When we kicked Trump's butt, Republicans in Texas rely on running up the vote in those rural areas. They rely on it. We Democrats dominate urban areas. We run up the score there. The only way Republicans can ever catch up with us is if they is getting huge margins in red areas. And that's the important word there, margins. Sure, those Republicans are going to show up and vote. Ignore that. Who cares? That's not what you're there for. You're there to deny them those margins because they have to win by such a huge portion in those rural areas that they can carry over and compete against our massive urban advantage. If you show up and vote, even if you don't dominate your district, even if you don't, if you show up and vote, you deny them those margins that they need to win. And that allows us to affect the culture of our states. That allows us to affect the policy of our states. It allows us to win those elections. And then just the opposite. I had a conversation on social media with somebody from San Francisco, and she said, talk about a vote not mattering. This place is like 100% blue. What does it matter if I don't vote, if I don't show up or not? Oh my God, it matters for the opposite reason. That's like saying, okay, go down to the beach and look at a wave. Now imagine that same wave if everybody that had that mentality took a teaspoon of water out of it. Pretty soon there would be no wave. You are the wave. If you are in a blue dominated area, your vote matters because you are that wave. You're that momentum. And every vote in that momentum matters because you're going to be crashing against the rocks of red districts. And they rely on apathy. That's why I'm very loath when we do these shows to show you the good news, because I'm so afraid of complacency. I'm so afraid of people not showing up because we've won nothing, and we win nothing if you do not show up and vote. Things look amazing. It looks like we're going to dominate historically, but we don't if you don't show up. The only way that happens is if you cast that vote, because feelings don't win elections. Excitement doesn't win elections. Good policies don't win elections. Good ground game doesn't win elections. Caring, being decent people, loving your country and patriotism, none of those things win elections. There's one thing and one thing only that wins elections, and that is a vote. So you have to go through that exercise. And you have to do it, because I have to tell you, in Georgia right now, there's a huge scandal breaking in Georgia, Macon, Georgia. There are voters showing up to the polls that have been checking their registrations. They have been checking their registrations. And their registrations have been saying, oh, yeah, you're good. You're good. They show up and they're like, oh, you're not registered to vote here. What? I've checked my registration over and over and over again. Well, yeah, the updated database we just got shows that you're registered in Fulton County. What? Folks, Republicans scream fraud for one major reason: to greenlight their own people into feeling it's okay that they commit fraud. We don't know how many voters it affects so far, but in Macon, Georgia right now, there is one address in Fulton County that changed the registration of we don't know how many people now to Fulton County and requested mail-in ballots. And they're trying to get it figured out. You have to vote in such numbers that their cheating can be overcome. You know, we just had, a Trumper in Arizona get sentenced to 6 years. She was an election official. Fraudulent military ballots. That's what all this claim is. They're cheating, man. They're cheating. Again, Russia created a viral video, the video that went completely viral, claiming cheating exists in Georgia and Pennsylvania. 2 different videos released through social media, through the trolls. Both of them were completely false and fabricated. Brad Raffensperger in Florida actually came out and made a public statement about it just yesterday, saying that's from Russia. That is not true. There's a mailman that's getting absolutely harassed in Pennsylvania because one of these citizen journalists, I keep telling you, I'm not a journalist, I'm a commentator. These people are not journalists. They're not journalists. Journalism is a profession. One of these citizen journalists that was going to find the fraud said, oh, look, voting ended. It's over. It's over. That's the law. It's over. Mailman goes to the ballot box as he's assigned to do, picks up the ballots, takes them back to the voting section. And this guy's, they're turning in ballots after hours. See, they're cheating. They're cheating. No, man, that's his freaking job. Just because you can't stick the ballot in the box anymore doesn't mean that they don't take the ballots out of the box and go count them. But that went hugely viral. What's the point of that? What is the point of putting a video out that is so easily disprovable? Because it gives Republicans the green light. Well, they're cheating. They're cheating. You know what? My mama, she can't vote. She's not cognitive anymore. I'm gonna request a ballot for her and fill it out. They're cheating. Why not? That's the point, folks. That's the point. It's to make cheating okay for them. So look, I'm not gonna BS you. The way to overcome that isn't to cheat ourselves. It isn't. It's not. It's to flex your muscle, the muscle you already have. You outnumber these people. You're excited. You care about what's going on. Let me tell you something, folks. My granddaughter voted for the first time. She came over this morning and brought me her sticker. She was so proud. Just so that I could be proud with her. That was my morning. That was before the show. That was my morning, was my granddaughter showed up and brought me her I voted sticker. That's how we do this. That's how we do this. There's more of us than there are them. You're better people than they are. You want to do things, good things. You want good things. None of it matters if you don't vote. We're a democracy, and the vote is the mechanism for which democracy functions. Everything I'm doing here is meaningless. Everything you're doing here is meaningless, except for the vote. So get it done, folks. I love you, folks. Enjoy some Texas cities at night.